First, I want to ask you, how did your autopsy proceed? Where did you start?
So it started with being notified of the death, and then I reviewed the investigative material that the medical legal death investigator performed or produced, and then I had requested what I needed done for the case. So it will start with me getting x-rays, and then the autopsy technician would be weighing the decedent. They would be taking measurements, and then they would undress them after taking pictures and documenting what they found on the body. And then after pictures were taken of the overall body and certain findings of the body, then more specific photos are taken of the injuries that were found on the body. And then I would start my external examination with everything, all the findings, and then measurements of all the injuries that were on the body. And after that, I performed the autopsy with the assistance of the autopsy technician with their eviscerated body, and I would note what was injured and what was found in each body cavity, and also go into the head.
So during the course of the autopsy, you said pictures were taken?
Yes.
Did you take pictures?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me what you see in that picture?
So this is the right side of the head and neck, showing a large wound on the right jaw.
You can place that one down.
So because these have been previously marked, I need to know which one you're sending.
Your Honor, this is actually going to be exhibit number 16. Previously marked. And now as to the exhibit number 17 that has been previously marked. Dr. Stanley, can you tell us what you see in that picture?
Yes. This is the back side of the body, mostly highlighting the right back with several wounds, and some wounds are noted on the left side of the back as well. And you can see the wound on the right jaw.
You can place that one down as well. As to exhibit number 18, could you tell me what you see in that picture?
So this is the front side of the body, highlighting the left side, and it shows some gunshot wounds here.
You can place that one down.
Is an overall picture of some of the clothing that was removed from Mr. Thornton.
Okay, you can place that one down. And exhibit number 22, is this also some of the clothing?
Yes. This is a shirt. It has some markers that indicate where some defects in the clothing were found.
Is that the front or the back of the shirt?
I'm concerned if it looks like the back.
Okay. And you can place that one down as well. And exhibit number 23. What do you see in that picture?
So this is the front of a shirt, and it also has some markers indicating where some hole defects were found.
Okay. You can place that one down. And exhibit 24.
This is an undershirt with markers showing where defects were found.
Okay, you can place that down. And exhibit 25.
This is overall of some property that was found on Mr. Thornton. It has money, some jewelry, some cards, and a condom.
Okay, place that one down. And exhibit 26. What is shown in that one?
This is an overall view of bullet fragments from the right jaw that were recovered.
Okay, you can place that one down. Your Honor, we are asking that those photos that have been previously marked be entered into evidence.
There was a time when it was particularly vibrant at a theater, arts. It's an important neighborhood in Memphis. It is less than 15 minutes from this building. Like I said, it's by the airport. In the 80s and 90s, it became riddled with crime, with drugs, with poverty, with gangs. It is trying hard nowadays to make a resurgence, to go back to what it was. There are families that have lived there for decades, generations. there are businesses and other things that have been there for decades. What we're looking at here is one of those Memphis businesses, a family business. This is the storefront of Makita's Cookies. This is the front of the store. This is its parking lot in front of it. Makita's Cookies. They sell butter cookies, basically. Some have icing on them. It's a simple butter cookie. People say they're real good. In Memphis, they say they're fire. So we got a cookie store that sells fire butter cookies in the middle of the day at 12:21 in the afternoon.
Mr. Hagerman, you're standing in front of me.
You can stop me here first. All right. So in 2021, people thought that was like a Lamborghini or something because they hadn't seen the new Corvettes yet, really. They weren't around. That is, in fact, one of those new Corvettes. It has a special wrap on it, it's what they call that. It's not something you can buy, from the dealership. You have to get that done yourself. Well, here that's a special wrap that the Memphis rapper, artist, Young Dolph, had on several of his vehicles. There's a couple times in this video we'll just have to wait, but it's a matter of seconds, and it's the last seconds of his life, so we can wait for him. Just up there first. All right. This taller man here in the yellow shirt, blue jeans, white shoes. His name is Adolph Thornton Jr. You've heard me read it a couple times now. He grew up in Memphis. The neighborhood he grew up in was Castalia, not terribly far from this, also a neighborhood in South Memphis. Who rapped about the things that growing up and that he sees in his neighborhood in Memphis. Some of that is drugs, some of that is violence, some of that is crime, some of that is gangs. Whether or not we agree or disagree as to whether or not that subject matter, things we should be listening to or not, I can assure you, it's real. You're after about stuff that is real. You're after about stuff that is real. And one of the things that meant everything to him in terms of what is real is he wanted to make it for himself. Wanted to make it for himself. He wasn't interested. He wasn't interested in joining others. He wasn't interested in being promoted by other people. He was all about making it himself. He felt like when he grew up, he called it his come up. That's what he called it, his come up. That it was rough and hard, but it was important that he got through it himself and he wanted to make it for himself. And he made it for himself. As a rapper, as an artist, Young Dolph. He became famous. Shortened to Dolph. Very famous. wanted to make it by himself. He wanted to be self-made, but it wasn't just about him. Because he also wanted a record label. He wanted to promote other artists. He wanted to make them famous. And so he started not just his own rap career, but a record label. It was called Paper Route Empire. Paper Route. Like a young man or woman would have to make money on the side throwing papers. But also a play on the word paper. Because in Memphis, slang for money is paper. It's sometimes abbreviated PRE, Paper Route Empire. And that is Dolph and the rappers that he promoted. Trying to make it on your own is obviously hard. In this game, trying to make it on your own can create enemies. PRE, Paper Route Empire, his label. It's not the only label in Memphis. He's not the only famous rapper in Memphis. Another label, CMG, Cocaine Music Group. And they became an enemy. They wanted Dolph under their label, but he turned down millions. Whether it's smart or not, there are things called, in Memphis, we call them diss tracks, DISS. A rap where I may insult, level load or sort of insults and everything else I want to in the song itself. And Dolph had plenty of those. And he had plenty of those directed at this other label, the Cocaine Music Group, at their artist, and at their number 2 person. His name is Big Jerk. The number 2 person of Cocaine Music Group. Through the years, and I'm talking years before what we're going to watch, having nothing to do with Mr. Johnson on trial, there were highly publicized incidents of violence directed by CMG against Dolph. He even wrote songs about it. Bulletproof, 100 rounds. And he also spewed out the disses and the insults. Saw it there. This man here got out of the car with Dolph. That's his brother. His name's Marcus Gordon. His brother, his friend. This thing that we're about to watch has had a terrible impact on Marcus. Not just his brother and his friend, but he also works security for them. In fact, as Marcus walks in this cookie store, he has a gun on his person. and he had another gun in the car. Dolph was well aware of the threats and the violence from CMG that were constantly hanging over him and his people. We'll wait 30 seconds. Stop it there. A car that just drove up came from this side of the parking lot. It actually been following Dolph on the street. When Dolph turned it in, it went up to this light where it got stopped for a few seconds and then came around.
If you don't think you're going to be able to not show any emotion during the reading of this verdict, I ask you to remove yourself now. There won't be, the court won't tolerate any outbursts of any sort from anyone. You will remove it.
Ready, Your Honor?
Yes.
Jury's now heading into the courtroom.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, have you reached a verdict?
Okay, Your Honor.
Four person? If you would stand and read your verdict, please.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder as charged in count 1 of the indictment. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of first-degree murder as charged in count 2 of the indictment. And we, the jury, find the defendant guilty of convicted felon in possession of a firearm as charged in count 3 of the indictment.
Thank you. Juror number 1, is that your verdict? Juror number 34, is that your verdict? Yes. Juror number 35, is that your verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 11, is that your verdict? Yes. Juror number 14, is that your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Juror number 17, is that your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Juror number 27, is that your verdict?
It is, Your Honor.
Juror number 33, is that your verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 25, is that your verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 40,
Yes.
juror number 23, is that your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Juror number 28, is that your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you again for your time and attention to this matter this week. Our system of self-government would not work without your service and sacrifice that you've made.
Jury's excused.
Mr. Johnson, a jury having found you guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, and convicted felon in possession of a firearm. As the 13th juror, I affirm this verdict. As to the first-degree murder, I sentence you to life imprisonment. I will set punishment as to the conspiracy and the convicted felon in possession of a firearm after a sentencing hearing. The date for that hearing will be November 1st?
Yes, Your Honor.
November 1st. There's nothing else to take up?
We will prepare the judgment sheet and pass that forward, Judge.
Thank you. And the pre-sentence report. The order for the pre-sentence report.
Sir, we'll get that, we'll get those to you.
Thank you. Give me a drink.
All rise. This honorable court stands adjourned to Monday morning at 9 a.m.
Thank you.